I'm Joren from Chatbot, and in this video I am going to show you how you can manage a distributed support team using Xenio Chatbot. So the first thing you want to do is you log into Xenio with your Xenio account. And once you do that, you will come in this dashboard where you see an overview of all the chatbots you've already made. And as you can see, I've already made some few, but in this tutorial you will need to create a new chatbot. So in your case, you can just click on create new bot and Xenio will automatically make a bot for you. But because I already made some parts of my bot, I'm just going to click on edit, and then I will go to this one because this is a blank chatbot flow. So before we actually can manage a distributed support team, we first need to make a support team inside Xenio. So the first thing you need to do is you go to your settings and then you click on team. And in the team section of the settings, you can add members to your team. So as you can see, I already added some members with their email, the group they belong to, and the permissions they have. You can also see that this member is active. And you can do the same for your team. Just scroll down a little bit. There you can fill in their email, the group they belong to, because often in companies you have a support team, you have a sales team, you have a marketing team, and they all get different questions inside the company from your clients. So it is important you give a certain team or certain group to your team member. And after you filled in the email and give them a group name, you can also give them the permissions. So for example, if you only want them to handle customer service and do the live chat, you don't want them to, example, view your dashboard or export data. So you can just click on this, and for everyone you click, for everyone you check, the user will get the permission. If you've done that and you can click on send the invitation, your team member will automatically get an invitation inside their email. They can click on that email and then they can make their own Xenio account and will be added to your team. And if they have done that, you will get the same overview as I have here, where you can see the email of the user, which group they belong to, their status, and the permissions they have. Added all your team members inside Xenio, you can actually start with building your chatbot. And with Xenio, we do that in the build section. And if you've never made a chatbot before with Xenio, we have a start interaction and a fallback interaction. And the start interaction is the message the user sees the first time he ever engages with your chatbot. So it's like the welcome message of your chatbot. And the fallback interaction, that's the message the user is going to see when the chatbot doesn't understand them. So, and that's also the interaction we are going to focus on now. So the fallback interaction is again the message the chatbot shows when he doesn't understand the user. And we can change it to something like, sorry, I didn't understand you. And then we can add the first name, because with Xenio you have a lot of variables here that you can use inside your chatbot flows. And you can just click here where you want to insert it, and you can just click on first name. So we edit, update the text, and save it. So then you can see, sorry, I did not understand you, first name. And we're going to check whether this is actually working inside our chatbot. So we're going to hit publish. And it's possible to publish your bot on a lot of channels, as you can see. We have Facebook Messenger, we have WhatsApp, we have the web, we have lots of channels with Xenio. So you can put your chatbot on almost any channel. But for this tutorial, I will only use Facebook Messenger. So you can see that I already put sometimes my chatbot on the Chatbot test page, which is a page which I made for this tutorial. And you can just click on enabled. If it wasn't enabled, you can click on enabled. If you haven't added your page, your Facebook page to Xenio, you need to do it before. But I already have done that, so I don't need to do it. And once you've done that, you can just click on publish. Then we will wait a little bit. It's loading now, and it is published. So I will go over to my iPhone, and on my iPhone, I will look for the page Chatbot test, over here. I will click on the Get Started button because in Facebook Messenger, that's the button you're going to see when you've never talked with a chatbot before. As you can see, the start interaction here is the same as the start interaction here. And then here we can type something in like opening times, because that will trigger the fallback interaction. And then we'll have, sorry, I didn't understand you, Joren. That's one of the benefits of Facebook Messenger. With Facebook Messenger, you already have some kind of variables that you can use in your chatbot. For example, you know their first name, their last name, but you also know their time zone. You also know sometimes which gender they are. All these kind of things you can use inside Facebook Messenger. So this is really a benefit as a channel. So we can just copy this interaction. We can clone it, and in this interaction I will call Team Online Check, because the next thing we need to do is to check whether our support team is actually online. And we can do this by adding an action. So you can just click on this tools icon and add a new action, and we will go to flow, and then we will click on the variable conditional switch. And then we can hit the variable name current hour. This is one of the standard variables inside Xenio. And we can check whether the current hour is between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. because those are normal business times. So when our team is online. So the control value will be 9 and the second control value will be 17. Then we can add another operation because we also need to check the day. Because it could be that on Saturday the user interacts with us between 9 to 5, but Saturday is the weekend. We will not respond on the weekend. So then we add another operation, and this again will be a flow with a variable conditional switch, and where we can check for the current weekday. Oh, I'm sorry, we can add the last contact weekday. The last contact weekday is basically the same as just the current day. So then we can hit contain, and then it will contain some of the following values. So what you can do is you can type in Monday, and then you will hit this one. And this is really an or statement. So it is Monday, or Tuesday, or Wednesday, or Friday, or sorry, forgot one, or Thursday, or Friday. So if the current day contains any of these days, then we will add an operation. And what we will do is that's when we meet this condition, we will go to another flow. But we have not made this flow yet, so we will just click save. We will delete this text because this text is not something we're going to use. And then we will make a copy of this one. Copy of this one. And we will name it We Are Online. Click on save. If we do this, then we can go to this one, add the operation, which will be a go to bot operation. So then we can select, we're inside the new bot behavior, which you can see over here, and we will go to the interaction We Are Online. Then we hit save, and as you can see, an error is drawn from Team Online Check to We Are Online. But how do we come from the fallback interaction to the Team Online Check? Basically in the same way. We can just here click on Add New Action, go to Flow, and choose the Go to Bot interaction. And this will automatically go to the Team Online Check. So we will go to the We Are Online, and if we are online, we will want to add a text we send to the user. So our team is our team is available for a direct chat right now. Or if you prefer, you could leave us a message and we will get back to you by email. So we give the user a choice, and this is really important because especially in nowadays, it's all about the user. The user determines what he wants, and if he wants to talk now, he can talk now. If he doesn't want it, then we will just send him an email. So we hit that. We can lose this one because this was from the previous flow, and hit save. Okay. So can we check this? Yes, we can check this already. So we will hit the publish again, online, save, publish. So I will go to my iPhone. Oh, first need to update, right? Yes. We'll go to my iPhone. There we have the opening times. Sorry, I did not understand you, Joren. This is the fallback interaction. Then it goes to the team online check. Today is Friday, and today it is 2:30. So this is on a weekday between 9 to 5, and then we are online. Okay, so the flow is going really good right now. But we are giving them a choice. Chat with an operator right now, or contact them with email. So again, we need to clone this one, and we're going to make another block, which we call forward to support. Because we're going to forward it to support, to our live chat. And if you do that, then we can here add a button which the user can click on. So we can just click, click on add new action, and then the quick reply button. And the quick reply button, we only have to give in the title, which is chat with operator, and a go to. So if someone clicks on a message, where do we go to? Well, we go to the forward to support, and then we hit save. And if you have saved this, again, you will see an arrow from we are aligned to forward to support. Then we'll edit this message with okay, first name. Yes, that's working. Update the text. We are connecting you to a support agent right now. So then we can hit save. And this is really where the magic comes in. This is really where we're going to connect someone with a support agent. So what we can do, we can add a new action. We will go to flow, and we will click on set chat operator state. Then we can request an operator, and if we request an operator, it just notifies an operator. This doesn't mean the operator will take over the chat. But we're not going to use this now, so we will choose for operator takeover. We also have Chatbot controlled. That's a third option. We will not use that in this tutorial. It's not necessary for it to manage your distributed support team. So that's why we're not covering it right now. But it basically means that you can give the control back to the chatbot if they have talked with someone from live chat. But we're not handling that right now. So we got the operator takeover. If you select that, the chatbot will deactivate. So for example, if someone will type in opening times again, there will be no response because it is assigned to one of your live chat agents. Next, you can say, I want a specific group. So for example, we have to chatomize. In this case, that's the whole company. Or you can select for sales or support. So I will not select a specific group, but you can do it. You can select it. Then you can assign an operator, and you can choose for random, less busy, or specific. So if you choose with random, just Xenio chooses a random operator for you. You can also click on less busy. Then it will select an operator for you which isn't busy at the time, or a specific operator. For example, if there is a question about a topic that only a few persons or maybe one person in your company knows about. So we can also do that, but I would say choose for a specific group often and select the less busy ones and the ones that are online, because I think it's pretty important that if someone needs an answer to a message right now, that there's at least an operator that's online, right? So we also select that one. So the the chat will be taken over by a live chat agent. So how we can view that inside our chatbot. I will just open the tab with conversations. I will show it just in a minute. But now we can hit publish. Again, enabled, publish. Nice. And then we can type in opening times again, because we still don't know the opening times. Sorry, I didn't understand you, Joren. Our team is available for a direct chat right now. Chat with the operator. Now we will click on that message. And then, okay, Joren, we are connecting you to a support agent right now. Then, inside the conversation in Xenio, you will see that the complete chat, so you can view everything back, OnePlus, you can see that it is currently held by an operator, which is Chatamize, which is me. And you will see that it's handled by a live chat agent instead of Xenio. So this is working perfectly fine. So I can just type something back. Hey Joren, our opening times are every day from 9 to 5. Boom. You will see it here. And then, you, for example, you can say, is there anything else I can help you with? See how simple this is? See how extremely simple this is, how to make this in Xenio, but it becomes way better. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this buttons right here, conversation, and hand it over to Xenio, because then the chatbot will work again. And I will also click on conversation and reset the position and variables. I will just do that for this tutorial. This is not something you need to do every time. This is just something I need to do right now, so don't worry about it. So what we have done now is that when the chatbot doesn't understand the user, it will automatically send a message, and it will ask the user, okay, do you want to talk with our team, or do you want to send an email? And if they choose to chat with an operator, the chat will be taken over by a live chat agent or by a support agent. But there's something more, and this feature is really what set Xenio apart from the competition. Because with Xenio, you can share the conversation URL. So, for example, let's think of this scenario where you're a support agent, you get a question, and you, as a support agent, don't know or doesn't know the answer to the question. So, what do you want? What do you want to do? So, you want to do is that you send that question to a colleague of you, for example, Dave, because you know Dave knows the answer to the question. But you just want to share the conversation URL and let Dave handle the conversation. And with Xenio, that's possible. So in Xenio, you can just click on this forward to support interaction. We will click on add new action, choose for flow, scroll down, and there you have the create conversation URL, which create a unique URL to the conversation. There you can set the validity, which is how long is this link valid, how long is this URL valid in hours, so we just set it to 24 hours. And then you can choose to really take over the conversation or just have a look at the conversation. And for this case, it's really important that you check the takeover conversation. And the reason why that's important, because otherwise you can only see the conversation with the URL, but you cannot respond to it. And we want to respond to it. So check takeover conversation and save. So what you then see is that we added it. And what is really important is that you need to drag it above the operator takeover chat. And the reason why you need to do that is because when you have the operator takeover chat element, everything that happens after that element won't be happening anymore. Because you're telling Xenio, stop with the chatbot and let it handle by a live chat agent. So Xenio stops. So everything that comes after the operator takeover chat won't happen. So that's really important that you have the create conversation URL above operator takeover chat. So then we can just hit publish and hit publish again. And it is published. I will go to my iPhone and I will just type in opening times. Sorry, I didn't understand you, Joren. Our team is available right now, so we will chat with an operator. And then, okay, we are going to connect you. So we have connected us. And what you see now, and this is different, if you scroll down here in the variables, you will see this, a conversation share URL. And if you just copy this URL, and you will go to that URL in your web page, you will see that you actually can respond to that URL. We also get a small notification from Xenio because we're assigned to the messages. This default notification is extremely useful if you're a live chat agent. But back to the conversation URL. But so let's say, for example, we want to share with Dave, and I will send that conversation URL to Dave with my through email. I will just share it to myself and open it on my iPhone, so you can see that also you can reply to it on the go, which is extremely useful. I will also make a link of it. Yes. Okay. Then on my iPhone, I will go to my Gmail. Then you see the email. We can click on it. And there it is. Here we can just type something in. So we're actually now talking with ourselves. Hey, how are you doing? For example, then you know I'm doing this. And then if we go back to Messenger, hey, how are you doing? So this is the conversation share URL, and this is extremely useful. Extremely useful. So then this is what we have done. We're already pretty far. We already, checked if our team is online, assigned the chat to someone from live chat, and we created a conversation share URL. Also, a quick hint is if you didn't make this in your flow because you're not using it often, but you want to create a share URL from the live chat, you can just click here, click on these three dots, click on share, and then create view URL, which will then you can only see the conversation, or create takeover URL, where you can have the URL which we had a couple seconds ago. So this is basically what we've done now. But as we have promised to the user, you can also send an email. So we will just clone this one and this one. We will come here. And this one, if, for example, the user chooses to send an email instead of live chatting, or if we aren't online, we can also go to the email. So we are going to make that block now. So we will call that block contact by email. We'll save it. And then we will add a text. We will first delete all these elements. Yes. Yes. And yes. So we've deleted all the elements. So we can just click on add new action, and we can just add the text. And we will just first ask for the email of the user. So awesome. Do you mind giving us a contact email? We can hit save. And then we need to make sure that there is some email input, that it's actually an email input. Not that someone just types in their name, which isn't their email, we cannot contact them. So we'll add new action, we will go to input, and we'll just click on email address input. And this is the message that appears on the moment it isn't a valid email address. So we will just leave that there, and then we will just do nothing, because we will just grab that email input. And what we want to do next is we automatically want to send an email to some of our live chat operators. So we'll add a new action, which is called integration, and then we just go to send Xenio mail message. I will just add myself as a recipient with the subject new email inquiry. Hey Joren, someone wants to have an email chat. Mail. And you can also select the user mail, but I will also show how this email looks. Here is the user mail with 1L. Update the text, and then we just can hit save. So until now, extremely simple. And when they have this filled in, we can also add a new text with thank you, we have forwarded your request to the support team. Also hit save. So this is basically the second option if we're online. So if you're online, you can directly chat with us or leave your email. So, but we didn't make the leave your email, so we will just add a new quick reply button here. And then we will just call it contact by email. And we will go to the same bot behavior, but we will go to contact by email and just hit save. So that's already working. But for example, if our team isn't online, we will also want them to go to our email. So we will also here add a new text with it looks like all of our operators are currently offline. Would you like to get in touch by email? So that's the thing. And then again, we will make a quick reply button. And we will call it leave a message. And this will also go to the contact by email interaction. So I will go through the flow again so you will definitely understand it. So what it does is, sorry, I don't understand you. And then we'll talk about the first name. Then, and we will go a little bit zooming here, is if it's a current hours between 9 o'clock and 5 p.m. and it's the last contact weekday is a working day, then it will go to the we are online block. If it doesn't, it will go to this block beneath it, and then if the user clicks on leave a message, it will go to the contact by email block. So if we're in the we are online block, then the user can choose for chat with an operator, which will go to this block and you will go to live chat, or you can click on contact by email, which will also go to the contact by email block. So again, we hit publish, online, save, publish, and again I will just remove all my variables here. Again, you don't need to do this, only for this tutorial I need to do this. And we will hit again opening times. So you will see, I didn't understand you, Joren, but we're online. Do you want to chat with an operator or contact by email? So let's say, okay, I want to contact by email. Awesome. Do you mind giving us a contact email? So I will just leave my email. I will use my info@chatomize.com email. Thank you, we have forwarded your request to the support team. So this is actually working. But there's one thing left, and this is not a thing that everybody will use, but some people will actually use this. And that is that you don't always want to have a fallback interaction. For example, sometimes you just want that a user tries multiple times to type in multiple sentences in the hope that it will trigger the chatbot. So for example, what we can do is, if you don't want to trigger the fallback message every time, we can set a condition. So what we do, every time the fallback interaction is triggered, we can add a new action, which will be profile, I think, profile, and then set user variable, and we can add a user variable named fallback count. Yes, so every time the fallback is triggered, the fallback count will be increased by added with 1. And then we'll hit save. Okay, you need to drag this above because you need to do it at the beginning. Then we'll add a condition, which is the variable conditional switch that checks, does the fallback count equals to 5? If the fallback count equals to is less than 5, then we'll go to the start interaction. So we'll just go to flow, go to bot interaction, and then we'll go to the interaction, the start interaction, which is basically your welcome message. And then we can hit save. So again, I will check this view. So we can add 1 to the fallback count every one this interaction is triggered. Then if the fallback count is less than 5, we will go to the start interaction. If it is more than 5 or 5, then it will go further with the flow. But if we have the team online check, which is happening here, then we need to add a new action. Because, for example, you ask a first question. You ask it 5 times. And at the 5th time, you get help. But, for example, you go away and 1 day later you come back. But the fallback count is still 5. So it will automatically trigger the team online check. And we don't want that because it's a new question. So therefore, we need to put the fallback count to 0. And we will just go to by profile, set the user variable, and then we'll use fallback count, and we'll set the value to 0. So that's how it basically works. We'll publish it. So how it works now, someone needs to type in a question at least 5 times, and after 5 times, then we will go into the flow. Before that, we won't go into the flow. So let's check this again. Conversation. Reset the position and reset the variables. Opening times. And now this message, the start interaction, is triggered. So instead we trigger the fallback interaction, we will trigger the start interaction. And we will do this a few more times, because it then triggers every time the start interaction like we want to. And now it should trigger the fallback interaction. Yes, and that does it. And that's basically how you manage a distributed support team. So let's cover up. What did we handle? We handled how you can add team members and create groups in your support teams. We handled how you can handle your chat over from the Xenio chatbot to live chat. We handled how you can contact someone if they choose for email, how you can send an email to your agents when they're not online, or that you can email some of your agents when a user wants to email them. And we covered how you can trigger the fallback message after a certain amount of times. And to top it all off, and this is again a feature that really sets Xenio apart, is the conversation share URL. You can easily share the conversation with other people who don't even have to log in to respond to that conversation. This was Joren from Chatbot. Thank you for listening to this tutorial. And if you have any questions, just go to the Xenio community on Facebook, and Xenio will be happy to help you there.